Have you ever felt it, that kind of quiet sadness about how relationships feel these days? We're gonna dig into why that feeling is so common now and, what we can actually do about it. So let's get into it. The quiet cost of our disconnected age. This quote just hits it, right? It's a feeling a lot of us have, but we can't really put our finger on it. It's not this big, dramatic thing. It's more like a quiet hum in the background, a sense of loss. So where does that come from? Why does it feel like it's everywhere right now? That's what we're gonna unpack. Okay, so what's really at the heart of this feeling? Well, it's a huge shift in how we even think about relationships. It's like we're living in this time where it feels easier, maybe even smarter, to just walk away instead of dealing with the tough stuff. The minute things get hard, the go-to move is to disconnect. And here's what's so interesting: how we talk about it. Walking away isn't framed as, giving up. It's sold to us as empowerment. It's self-care. But is that really the whole picture? I mean, are we sometimes just choosing the easy way out when what we really truly need is to figure out how to connect on a deeper level? So what's pouring gasoline on this fire of disconnection? It's something we use all day, every day, our words. The language we use can literally build bridges or just burn them to the ground. Let's really look at how this new vocabulary of harm is changing our relationships. All right, there's this key idea called semantic stretch. It sounds a little academic, but it's super simple. It's what happens when we take these really big, important clinical words, think trauma, toxic, narcissist, and we stretch them out like a rubber band to cover just about any kind of uncomfortable feeling. And this isn't just about word choice, you guys. It totally changes how we see our interactions. Suddenly, every little bump in the road feels like a major threat. And this is where we have to get really, really clear. On one side, you've got normal relationship friction, right? The stuff that's part of any real connection, like being challenged or needing to forgive someone or taking responsibility for your own actions. But then on the other side, you've got actual harm. We're talking unsafe situations, emotional abuse, times when you absolutely need to get some distance. The huge problem we're facing is when we start confusing the two and treat all friction like it's genuine harm. This quote right here, it nails it. We've become so afraid of feeling uncomfortable that we've forgotten that discomfort is often how we grow. I mean, think about it. Learning to work through a conflict is supposed to be uncomfortable, but that feeling isn't always a red flag telling you to run for the hills. Sometimes it's actually a sign that you're about to have a major breakthrough. So what happens when we start labeling every uncomfortable feeling as harm? Well, we start to lose a really important skill. I like to think of it as the lost art of staying. And I don't just mean physically being in the room. I mean staying emotionally plugged in, even when it gets hard. And yeah, it's an art. It takes patience, it takes practice. Two things our fast-paced world doesn't seem to value much anymore. So why does this staying thing matter so much? Because let's be real, the relationships that stretch us are the ones that make us grow the most. They're like a mirror, right? They show us our own insecurities, our defense mechanisms, all the places where we still need to do some work. And if we run away from that stretch, we're basically running away from the chance to become a more complete version of ourselves. Okay, now we have to be super, super clear about what staying means. This is really important. This is not about putting up with bad behavior. It's not about being a doormat, not at all. It's about making a grown-up, conscious choice. And that takes real strength and self-awareness. So let's break this down. What staying is, it's being present. It's holding on to who you are inside that relationship. It's the real work of being an adult. Now, what it is not throwing your boundaries out the window. It's not erasing yourself to please someone else. And I can't say this enough, it is absolutely not about tolerating abuse, ever. Your safety is always, always number one. That is non-negotiable. So really, the goal here, the real work of adulthood, is to find that balance. It's this amazing ability to say, okay, I am in charge of my own feelings, my own reactions, and at the same time, choose to stay connected to this other person. It's that double commitment right there that builds real, deep, lasting intimacy. Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we start repairing things when a connection feels like it's about to snap? Well, the good news is, it's not about some grand romantic gesture. You don't need to find the perfect thing to say. It's actually all about small, simple human actions that literally anyone can learn to do. So here are 3 little things that can genuinely change everything. First, instead of just withdrawing, try choosing curiosity. Get curious about what the other person might actually be feeling. Second, instead of putting up your usual defenses, make the really brave choice to just soften a little bit. And third, instead of retreating into your corner, just choose to have one more conversation. I know they sound small, but trust me, these acts are incredibly powerful. And at the end of the day, here's the truth we all kind of need to just accept. We've been sold this idea, this fantasy, that love should be easy, effortless. But real love, the kind that actually lasts, the kind that changes you for the better, it's not effortless. It takes work, it takes growth, and it demands that we show up as our real, authentic selves. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about. The next time you're in a conflict and you feel that familiar urge to just pull back and shut down, what are you going to choose? The easy path of retreat or the braver path, the one that's usually way more rewarding, the path of repair? The choice, as always, is yours.